Welcome to the Write, Publish, Market podcast. If you're a business owner thinking a book would be a great marketing asset for your business, you're in the right place. Maybe you've already committed, even better. I'm your host, Jodi Brandon, book publishing strategist and partner for business owners, CEOs, and entrepreneurs, and 20-plus year veteran of the book publishing industry. On the Write, Publish, Market podcast, in addition to learning from me and other industry experts, you'll hear from other business owners about their experiences as we explore all facets of writing, publishing, and marketing a book that will help your business grow in ways you might not even be dreaming of yet. I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. Hello. Today we are talking about the long game of book marketing. Somebody said to me, I thought writing was supposed to be the hard part. And I, chuckled in response, as I just did right now, because not the case. I mean, certainly for some of us, writing is the hard part. But for a lot of us who write a book, marketing is the hard part. And the reason marketing is the hard part, because it is such a long game. There are all of these analogies out there. I mean, I use the marathon, not a sprint analogy all the time in my own mind, on social media, in my content with clients, et cetera. And it's certainly, I'm not the only one using that. I'm sure that you have heard that before. So it's easy to get burned out with book marketing. Very easy. And so when that happens, you have, sort of this cycle of, well, nothing's happening. I don't want to do anything. And it's, like this vicious cycle. So the way you win at the long game of book marketing is to figure out what you need to prioritize. So sustained marketing over the long term, right, is what's going to help you keep making book sales and book relationships and whatever your goals are. But it's a long game and you need to figure out how you're going to play it, because your goal is sustained effort over the long term. That's going to look different for every single one of us. That's the annoying part, right? That's the frustrating part, is that you can have a book similar to so-and-so's and you see them doing this and it's working well for them, and then you try it and it doesn't work. And it's just every single business owner with a book, every situation is so different. The books are different. The business owners, we're different. And then how we're each using our book within our own business ecosystem is not the same. So every single circumstance and situation is unique to us. And that can be frustrating as well and lead us down, the slippery slope toward burnout. So we have to keep that in mind, that absolutely pay attention to what others are doing, experiment. Think of book marketing as a big old experiment. That is when my mindset is the best around book marketing, when I'm treating it as, sort of a science experiment. Now, the other thing to keep in mind here is that this is going to look different at different times of, the life of your book. Immediate pre-launch, like a few weeks before the book launches, launch week, a couple months out, a year after the book has been released. All of our marketing activities are going to look different at those different times. Certainly there are going to be some similarities, but a lot of our focus is going to look different depending on where we are within that timeline. And so here's the key. You've got to think about your strategy. We want to not worry about vanity metrics, bestseller list. Of course, that stuff is all nice to have. Absolutely. But what is it doing for you? You've heard me ask that question before. You want to be focused on long-term visibility, not short-term vanity metrics. Hey there, business owner and aspiring or published author. Sorry to interrupt this episode. Just wanted to check in and see if you're subscribed to Coffee and Commas, my email newsletter, where I share behind the scenes, industry info, and much more about writing, publishing, and marketing a book for your business. Sign up at bit.ly/coffee and commas sign up. That's all lowercase. Now back to the show. And that when you have that long-term visibility, you want to choose the marketing channels appropriately. Ask yourself this: where is my time best spent? And where is my money best spent? You could do one of those matrices, like important, not important, urgent, not urgent, all of those things, that we read about in business books. You can do something like that, but you want to be prioritizing activities that are converting, whether that's sales, whether that's clients, whether that's leads, whether that's speaking opportunities. It might not just be book sales you're trying to convert, right? So You want to think about things that you want to be doing, but they also have to be, as well as things that you want to be doing, things that are working toward your goals, whatever they may be. And again, as you know, the money is not in the book. So you've got to figure out what your goals are. And then where's your money best spent? Where's your time best spent to get you toward that? So, do a brain dump, make a list. That's what I do. That's what I encourage my clients to do. And then let's think about what makes the most sense. A lot of people immediately talk about, book signings and events at bookstores. Those are great at launch time, but after launch time, like outside of that immediate launch window, very little conversion there, for sales or anything else, right? Social media, that's a great idea. Good for brand development, visibility, et cetera, but probably not direct book sales. So if you are looking to, for like a cash injection, something like that, social media is probably not what's going to make it happen, right? So look at what other people are doing in your genre, see what you think makes sense, and you've got to figure out how to focus your efforts to make your book goals come true, come to fruition, et cetera. That's going to help you determine where to spend your time, where to spend your money, how to figure out that marketing plan for, 6 months before the launch, 1 month before the launch, 2 weeks before the launch itself, a couple months after, a year after, 2 years after, and then at that point, are you writing a second book or a third book? Are you revising your book? Everything is going to look different at different times. So like that flow of tasks is going to look different, but also where you're spending your time and your money. Those are what you really need to think. Those are the two pieces you need to think about. And you figure those out by looking at your strategy. And that strategy answers the question of how am I going to play the long game when it comes to book marketing? So that was a very long answer I thought writing was the hard part. Writing is definitely not the hard part. You have to have a plan for book marketing. Otherwise, you're going to be one of those people who comes to me and says, Jodi, I wrote a book and nothing happened. Or Jodi, I wrote a book and I didn't reach my goals. Jodi, I wrote a book and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or Jodi, I wrote a book and I got burned out on book marketing. That's another one I hear. So yes, those things are going to happen if you don't have a strategy to play the long game. And I walked you through, the questions that you should be asking yourself. Don't get caught up on the vanity metrics. Think about long-term visibility and then, plan your activities accordingly so that you don't get burnout, so that you do win the long game of book marketing. That is all I have for you today. Until next time, my friends, happy book marketing. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Write, Publish, Market podcast. I know just how busy business owners and CEOs' schedules are, and I'm grateful you've taken some time out of yours to spend with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, take a quick screenshot and share it on social to let others know you're listening. Use the hashtag WritePublishMarket to spread the love.